Hey guys, it's Raven. It's me. I'm back with another letters from the field. This one is interesting. Um, so Hurricane Irma came and uh wrecked my shit, and so we lost power late Sunday night. I got it back Tuesday, like midday Tuesday, which was good because well, first off, I learned that no one in this house could have lived in any other time period besides this time period because everyone was freaking out because they didn't have power. And, like, I was too to a point, but that's because I have you guys. And, like, I have a responsibility to you guys to make content. And I couldn't do that. So that's why I was freaking out. But other than that, like, being on my own without power, I was kind of okay with it. I was like, we get power when we get power. It won't be a big deal. I made that video telling you guys that, hey, I might not have power for a little bit. It's fine. I'm cool. And people over here were like, we don't have power. It's so hard. The AC sucks. I'm like, I've gone to summer camp before. Like, this is all this is, summer camp. It's a long day at summer camp. Long week at summer camp. And, we had a generator, so we had, so there were a couple of rooms that had AC. We bought a portable AC unit and stuck um that in a room. Not any of the big rooms, mind you, or any room that was actually important to have. It was one bedroom. We had it on, and I'm gonna get into that. So I try to run this channel very much like it's you and it's me and we're friends, we're hanging out, and I get to talk to you guys about anything, and you guys, if you want, can message me about anything, and it's a nice little it's a nice system we got going on, right? That's the way I try to run the channel, so because that's kind of what I want out of this channel. I want to make you guys comfortable. I want to be able to I'm fucking this up with words, but I fucking hate this map sometimes. So I really try to make it. Oh, half of us are birds. That's really cool. I try to make it so that it's personal and it's not about really anything. It's about, my life and your life, and we're just trying to make it and make shit about and play some video games together. Like that's the framing of the channel. So keep that in mind. Because I'm probably gonna get. I'm gonna go into a couple of things that might be a little too personal, and that's fine. I think, possibly. I don't know. Um. Oh, I am muting all of you right now. Nice Goku, by the way. Uh. So first off, I have a fidget spinner now, which is really stupid, and I really hate it, but it's a lot of fun, so I have it. Um. So Tuesday we got power back. I made those two videos, which I made the Beast from Beyond video, my first attempt on that, and the Black Manta introduction video, which was alright. Like there's nothing really like special about it. They happened. We moved on. Wednesday marks like a week from not being at work, which made me uncomfortable because I really like my job now, and I haven't been there in a week, and it sucks. So that was fun. I still haven't gone to work. Work starts up Monday now here because of a lot of the schools are being held up as shelters and whatnot. So it's gonna actually feel really good to not be at the house and be back at work and stuff. So we lost power. Uh, I got to hang out with Cincinnati Kid. He was actually down because of the hurricane. He wanted to be with his family and whatever. And I'm being way more flippant about that than I probably should, but it's cool. but he wanted to be with his family, so he got to hang out with his family. And I gotta say, man, like, we hung out for one day, and I kind of just jumped into a conversation because I was so excited that he was back. And he was like, man, this like this is why I love our friendship, because I haven't seen you in basically 2 months, and you're just hopping right into it like no time has passed. I'm like, yeah. What else am I supposed to do? But it was this moment. It was like we kind of both realized what it meant, like what each of us meant to each other. It's weird, and it was really cool. So we just kind of talked until like 5 a.m. I bought 2 monsters and chugged them. He bought a Red Bull, and we just kind of like talked and hung out. And it was so much fun. It was a lot of fun that time. That time we had, it was all ours. No, but it was a lot of fun to kind of just be with my friend again and hang out. I'm not sure what day that was. Don't ask me. Over Tuesday, when I did when we did get power back, I kind of like made a promise to myself, and I was like, look, if we get power back relatively soon, I was like thinking like Wednesday would be relatively soon. I'd post a bunch of my pictures that I do to Facebook, and I did, and those have been getting so much love. It's amazing how much love those pictures have been getting, especially because photography for me has always kind of been like a side project, which is weird to think about because when I talk about this, because I haven't monetized any of the videos yet and I haven't done any of that, I consider this to be the side project. So it's like my side project. But it was amazing to see so many people liked what I put up, and so many people were like, oh, that's really cool, please show us more. And it was weird to see that kind of reaction. Can you tell I don't do well with people congratulating me on things? No, but that was really cool to kind of see that people were excited to see what I was my style and photography and whatever, and I was really proud to show them. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of posted them for a petty reason, and with like a petty a little tag, because I'm not the biggest like, for example, I am religious, right? Not religious, I'm spiritual. Like I work a lot with churches that give to charity, and I try to follow the Christian mindset as closely as possible without really going to church. Like, I'll read my Bible and I'll do all that, and some people are like, oh, you're a heathen and whatever, but I don't like church. I don't like I'm not good with organized anything, really. I just, like, my mindset and that mindset kind of like butt heads a lot of the time. And because of that, I don't really enjoy churches or whatnot. So I try not to go to church, and I just have a disdain for a lot of the people that used to go for my old church because of ideologies, differences in ideologies and attitudes and personalities and blah 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 type things. Well, a bunch of the people from my old church, which ironically I actually have to go to today, I've over the years posted about how they're gonna be photographers and they're gonna do this and that and whatnot, but they don't have any style. All the pictures have basically, at least everything that I've seen, everything that they posted on Facebook, have just been basically portraits. And now I'm not saying that you can't do a lot with a portrait. You can, and one of these days, I'm gonna do a lot with a portrait to show that you can do a lot with a portrait. But the portraits that they're doing are very basic. They're very simple portraits. There's nothing really to them that makes you stop and think like, oh, that's really cool. That really doesn't exist in their pictures. So So because of that, I did a really petty thing, and I put up my pictures with like the subtitle or whatever you want to call it on Facebook. Of sometimes I do photography, showing that it's this real, like kind of showing that it's this real, like it's a thing I do. It's not like a big deal or anything. It's not like I'm making it my career or anything. And just the reaction of that, seeing how many people really liked what I was doing and liked what I was putting out, was amazing. Um, Especially because even though like it's not a competition, it doesn't make sense for me to think this way like at all. But it just felt like everyone that like I was winning over was like, haha. Like they were in on the joke, even though they're not, because it doesn't make sense for them to be in on the joke. No, but I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that idea, and it kind of just made me happy to see how many people were giving love and support for this thing. Which I probably should post another 5 pictures because of the reaction, but whatever. So I pretty much so then we started. Okay, so now back to the whole, hey, I like to have this channel really personal, really open, and really like with you and me type thing. So it's no secret that I'm not exactly friends with my step dick or step douche. I'll go step douche because that sounds better. With the step douche. That's not a secret by anyone's standards. But and you know, Hurricane Irma kind of put everything back into perspective in a way. And what I mean by that is the way Hurricane Irma went, right? So we're talking about last week, like 2 weeks ago at this point. Was that he went up to Tampa to help out his daughter set up shutters and prepare for the hurricane. Which I don't have like good. You know, that's something you should have done. Maybe this is just my opinion, and I could be wrong about this. If you guys have opinion on this, let me know in the comment section down below. If there was a way I should have relooked at it and just not have gotten so upset about it, let me know. But he went up to go help his daughter with her shutters because she was all alone and she needed the help. So he goes up there to help her, but that's before any work at our house had even started. Now, that's fine, I guess. Like, you should go help others and whatever, but I mean, you kind of have to help yourself. I'm at the mindset that like you have to help yourself before you help others, because if you're not in the place where you can help and you're not in a good place, how can you help others? And you know, that might not be the right mindset to have by a long shot, but it's the mindset that I have. And I'm not just talking about things like with shuttles or like dumb things, but I'm talking about also of things that like, also the things of like a spiritual nature or a rehab nature, whatever. You should have yourself on a good place before you help others, and he didn't. So okay, cool. Doesn't seem like a big deal. Then when he comes down, after everyone's kind of on the same page of he'll be gone for a week. He was gone for 3 days, and when he did come back, we had to help him. My mom, my sister, and me had to help him with boarding up his business with shutters and whatnot. Now, there are 2 problems I have with this. First off, I hate him. I don't want to help him with his business to begin with. That should be a no-brainer. But the issue that I have with this is that it doesn't make sense logically. Now, this is going to make me seem like a pretentious white boy, and that's cool. But why is it always a white boy? I don't know. but we have hurricane-proof windows on the house. A couple of years ago, like almost a year after we got the place, like 8 years now, we've had hurricane-proof windows, so we haven't had to do any shutters for the hurricane. It was a part of a renovation project that my county was doing, and they just kind of went along randomly and selected people to be a part of this renovation project. You know, really cool stuff. Well, so that means in almost a decade now, we haven't had to put up shutters of any kind. And he was making us help with this project. Now, part of me is like, you know, I get it. We're the household and whatever. We should help out with this thing. But then I see the person who I'm helping, and the person who I'm helping is very much this person who's like, who's very much if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it right, and you have to be very meticulous about it, and it only makes sense if you do it one way, and that's the way you have to do it. You know, and none of that's bad, except when you look at the job that we're doing, which none of us have experienced in the last 10 years. The most help I've done when it comes to shutters and boarding up a place was, I think, with Hurricane Matthew, I want to say. My friend needed help, so I screwed pieces of wood onto his window plane. But that wasn't what we were doing. We were putting up metal shutters. It was a completely different thing that I had no idea what I was doing. And I have to do it with his mindset of it has to be right, it has to be done proper, and it has to be like blah, 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 blah. Which, again, isn't bad when I know what I'm doing, or if like they're willing to teach. We got there first, and then he left to go do other things, and both of those things just aren't right. You know, so he leaves to go get supplies and whatever. At least that's what I was told. And we're kind of here now boarding up his place of business, and it sucks. So then when he does come back, because of course this always gets worse, he does come back and he shows up with his daughter, different daughter, mind you, a daughter that isn't exactly a fan, isn't exactly the best when it comes to this kind of situation. And she doesn't do anything. It's now raining. It's now pouring rain. I'm still putting up shutters for a place I don't care about, doing something I don't know how to do, and it's now pouring rain. I'm pissed off. I'm annoyed at the situation. Understandably, I feel, and now we have these extra people who are just getting in the way. It got to pretty much almost the end of the entire escapade before one of the daughter's 3 kids decided to help, which was really cool of him. You know, it's cool that at this point, even though he was told like 3 times to help, he actually did something. That was cool of him. But it's like, are you kidding me? Like, I didn't want to be there. We had all these extra people that weren't doing anything. It's pouring rain. I don't know how to do the thing I'm asked to do. And it's just like, can we not? Why was this what happened? And then after the storm, and so that builds onto this, what happened on this week, which was after the storm, we had to start raking up everything. We had to clean up the mess because I'm not sure if I have talked about this, but my mom and the step-douche are very neat freaky. They're very particular about having everything clean and having everything look really nice. Which that's not a problem until you get to the part where they are, because they are like crazy anal about it. To the point where like, if there's anything on anything where it's not supposed to be, they have a meltdown and it's gross and disgusting and all the shit. Well, so obviously the hurricane and their yard not being absolutely perfect is like a nightmare to them. So we start cleaning up after the hurricane. We start raking and doing stuff. And who's not helping at all except to jump into the pool and clean the pool. While again, we don't have AC, we don't have anything to cool off with. Is Step Douche, and Step Douche is just hanging out in the pool, cleaning out the pool, doing his parts, you know, doing his good head of the household parts like an American. And I was just so pissed off with him. And that was the first day, right? That was the first day. The second day we're cleaning up. Again, me, my mom, my sister, all outside, all working really hard to try to make the house look nice. Now, I still don't give a crap about making the house look nice. Personally, I'm like, look, we just had a hurricane. Yeah, it's gonna look like crap for a couple days. It's cool. You know, we don't have to immediately jump on this. We can wait until we have AC and we can go back inside the house and not die. You know, because of heat. Because we happen to live in Florida, and Florida is really hot fucking state. So we're outside working, and what is he doing? He's inside with the portable AC unit, washing dishes. Are you kidding me? What? So, and that builds on what happened last night. So last night, or yesterday, I should say. Yesterday I got a text message. And there's been almost this big fight been going on almost since I've moved back in. Which is, you don't ask me to do things, you tell me to do things. And all I'm asking is that you ask me to do things. Well, to his credit, he finally asked me to do something. He didn't tell me to do something, he asked me. And I was very excited for that. I was excited for what that meant. I thought he was growing as a person. And I was excited. Well, not the case. Because what he was asking me to do was, like, it wasn't hard. And it was not about that. It was laughable. See, I don't know. It might just be a me thing. It might just be, like, how I was raised thing. But I was raised, if you're going to start a project, you should finish it. And then move on to your next thing. So this dude started the project, left the house, and then, like 2 hours after leaving, asked me if I could finish the project for him. No. Because, here's the thing. It doesn't make sense for me to finish a project that you could have easily finished and done. Especially when, if I was to ask you to finish a project I started, I'd be called rude and arrogant. So it doesn't make sense for me to do it. I apparently was very rude in how I answered. Now, I didn't feel I was rude at all with how I answered. But apparently I was. And it has now started almost this new war ground of a feeling within the house. Which I now have to go to a church, which I actually make fun of and despise because of how they have taken the congregation. Which is fine. Which is perfect and great. And I'm so excited to go to a church that I don't like. And now it's become this thing where it's like, look, and don't get me wrong, I still did it. I came back at the house after hanging out with Rogue and doing a bunch of other things. I came back at like 9:30 at night. Came back, picked up, did the yard work, he left, which wasn't a lot of yard work. And that's the thing that pisses me off more about it, is because it stopped seeming like it was something that he needed help with, like after I finished it, and it just seemed like something he wanted to prove that he could make me do. And I was like, really? Like, you didn't need anyone's help to do that. You needed another like 5 minutes to get this done, but you chose not to do it, type thing. And it's like, oh, that's dandy. So now it's kind of started this war, and which is awesome because this isn't the only war that's facing our family. And I'm not sure if I've ever talked about this on the channel, but our family dynamic is kind of a shitty one. I've always kind of seen it as a war because of X, Y, Z, because my family's divorced and whatever, which makes sense in a way, I guess. I don't fucking know. So while I'm kind of fighting with mom and step douche, my sister is fighting with my dad, and I'm like, can this not happen all at once? Like, this just seems like so unnecessary. And part of it is egos, part of it's pride, part of it is just stupidity. And to a point, I acknowledge that I didn't help the situation. I get that. There were things I could have done to avoid this fight. I could have just done the thing that I was asked to do. But at the same time, I feel like this is just stupidity and pride getting in the way. It's just something that's just so dumb and so nonsensical that it has gotten in the way, and now everyone's at each other's throats for just fun reasons. The other fun thing that always happens, that always seems to happen, I'm not sure if it's causation or correlation, that seems to happen, is whenever when me and mom get into a fight, which this is great, I love this. Again, because part of the fight was about me not respecting respecting step douche, and the other part was me not going to church, so it was great. So part of the fight was whenever we get into a fight. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Whenever we get into a fight, it always ends up being, how much money do I owe them? So recently, I was supposed to start paying them for my phone bill. Now, I've never had to pay for my own personal phone bill. It's not a big deal. It's something that everyone has to do eventually, and I get that. Well, because I've never done it before, and I haven't gotten my own plan, I forgot about it. Which, is that shitty? Yes. Should I have been reminded? Yes. Like, yes, I should have been reminded, because never had to do it before. So I got a text message at 11:30 at night last night saying I owe them money for the phone bill. And I'm like, really? Like, how are you gonna have this argument about respect and going to church and doing all these things, and then be like, by the way, you still owe me money? What are you doing? And I don't know. And there's a part of my brain that's like, I think you're taking this all way too personally, mate. I think you just need to chill. I think everyone needs to go to counseling in this scenario. But I think you just need to take a breather, which that's probably exactly what I need to do. And maybe it'll happen. But it's like, how I don't understand how it's like this is what's happening. I don't know. So now I've ranted and raved for 30 minutes about family drama, which did not mean to be what this was about. I really didn't want that to happen. I meant this to be more about just so I'm trying to think, and thinking and talking does not work with me. Oh, hello. That was your face right in my face. Why was your face in my face? It just, I don't get it. So, but that's pretty much been my last couple weeks in a nutshell. Not that great, but it is what it is, and hopefully we can get through this. The other thing I found really amazing was that last Friday, I listened to Spotify, and it's really cool, and I love Spotify with all of my heart and soul. Spotify was like, hey, you like NF, he's an artist, he was his latest song, and it's really dope. And I listened to it, and I've not listened to anything else since I've gotten this song on my phone. and that's because it is the absolute perfect song for this entire scenario. It and I love it so much. So just having that kind of like thrown in the mix, it's like, oh, cool. How much of this was like not needed, but also like super needed at this point. What is happening? But I don't know, like, I didn't mean to have this be like this whole big family drama episode of Letters from the Field. It's not what I intended, but, and I like to think that we're pretty close. You and I and us. I like to think that this is a place that you can message me if you got shit, and I can talk to you if I got shit, and whatever. I could be wrong. Could have just ousted a bunch of family drama for no fucking reason. But, you know, I like to think that that's what this is. So, there you go. It's kind of weird because of how much of a, like, how much of a like an antisocial, like, I don't want you knowing things about me type person I am. For me to be like, oh, here's a bunch of my life story. Here's like my life story this week to a bunch of people I don't know on the internet. Which is weird. I don't know. I need to end this video. It's like over 30 minutes long. I don't like that. Bye!